Hello and welcome back with another special episode review of the Star Trek The Animated Series, Episode 3, One of Our Planet is Missing. Well, it was an interesting episode. Starting out, the Enterprise is approaching a planet called Mantilis. They actually run into a big giant cloud, a massive cloud. It's heading towards Mantilis. They don't really know anything about this cloud, but when they went closer to investigate, the ship being pulled in to the cloud and giving a little problem to the Enterprise. They've been attacked by little creatures, little rock creatures, not rock creatures, they were like enzymes, as it turned out, which helps digestion, so it wasn't really a long time to put together. It's okay, this is a living being and actually it's eating up the Enterprise. Well, it's tried to eating up the Enterprise. It didn't really happen because, you know, the Enterprise had shields and all the other technology to actually keep them away from the ship. But as more they going into deeper to this cloud, the more they actually get to know about this cloud. Basically, this cloud heading towards Mantilis, and the population of Mantilis is 80 million people, which is quite impossible to actually transfer from one planet to another, so they had to find a solution for this problem. They contacted with Governor Wesley in Mantilis, and Kirk basically advised him to try to save as much people as possible, but they only were able to save 5,000 children. Yeah, but imagine if we have a problem, we won't be able to do anything. That cloud just comes and there's no Enterprise, no spaceships to go out and, you know, save 5,000 people. I don't even think we would be able to save 5,000 people in planet Earth if something like this happens. So they jump into this cloud and they try to find out how they can actually get in. But as long as they realize this is a living being and whatever comes in to the front, it will comes out at the end. So sort of realizing this being has a simple system. It eats something, digests something, and it's, you know. While realizing this, they actually they're going through different parts of the entity, and they actually realizing there's a sign of intelligence, there's a brain actually in this being. It's not just a mindless creature eating up anything what actually he can find or she can find. So while they're figuring out this brain, Captain Kirk actually made up the decision to destroy the being itself, which raises a question, and everyone in the ship, everyone in the bridge actually looked to Captain Kirk like, why do you want to destroy? Because the Starfleet, based on exploring new lives and new civilizations, why do you want to destroy a living being? That's not exactly what the reaction would actually you can get in a situation like this. And the funny thing is, Kirk had his own point, choosing a population of an entire planet, 80 million people, against one entity. It's really hard to choose between 80 million people and one, because one is unique. 80 million people is 80 million people. I know I'm sort of talking like a mass destructor, but I'm not. Don't get me wrong. But this is a really tough decision, and Starfleet captains have to do tough decisions. Have to make tough decisions sometimes. So I'm not even surprised Captain Kirk put the priority of the 80 million people against this one beautiful creature. So, but of course, they didn't destroy the creature, because Spock actually found a way to reach out to the creature's brain, and he actually managed to tell the creature to help him understand what he's eating up, all on his journey. Spock really brilliant in this episode. Not only always in every episode anyway, but in this particular episode, he's actually quite amazing. How he not just telling the creature what's the difference between human living beings eaten up instead of just, you know, not human and living beings. So he convinces the cloud not to eat the population of Mantilis, and in every planet what actually the entity will face. So basically he sends him back to his own galaxy, to his own home, which whoever know where is it. It's really interesting to see it in the first time. It's honestly, it's really interesting to see it in the first time, because now I can see a couple of bits from this series taken out and actually made into a giant movie. I mean, the previous 2 episodes, there was elements when actually made it to big screen. I mean, I'm not sure if it's intentional. It happened because of the choice of the director or creative group. So basically, a cloud going towards a planet, and the planet facing the possibilities of destruction. In the meanwhile, the Enterprise going towards to this cloud, and what happens is the Enterprise gets into the cloud and going forward inside the cloud. Does this little story reminds you for something? Yes, that's right. 1979, the first Star Trek movie, the motion picture, sort of had the similar elements on it. Enterprise going to a planet because of cloud destroying and consuming planets and objects and everything, but actually it's encounters. So it's amazing seeing this episode and thinking about the original first movie, the motion picture. Just honestly, it's a really good script. In terms of rating, I did it in the first the reviews too, so I will keep doing this. I would give 10 out of 10. There was nothing wrong with this episode, honestly. Not even a slight, mispronunciation. Even I really like the fact that the alien, I think it's Axar or Arax or Aram, something. So even the creature, the free-hand creature in the bridge of the Enterprise next to Sulu, he gets a little monologues as well in this episode. So that was it for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please check out my website where I usually do 1 or 2 articles every week. Check out my Instagram account where I always put some nice pictures about Star Trek and geekiness, usually my collection and playing around with my collection, plus some drawings as well. So I hope you will find relevant content what you will actually enjoy and check. So till next time, live long and prosper. I think personally this is a good idea, because in this case I won't compare their play to their previous characters, because in case of Sherlock, I'm pretty sure you remember Benedict Cumberbatch played Sherlock, and I saw him playing Sherlock and I fell in love with the play, how he actually managed to play Sherlock, the character. And then what happened is he'd been in Star Trek Into Darkness as Khan, and he was exactly like Sherlock.